Hi, this is Uzma. So you've applied for a new job. When's the best time to talk about your thalassemia? I have a lot of trouble keeping things like this private. I prefer to be open, but that's not a risk-free approach. I have had employers see my illness as a burden to them. One employer was visibly reluctant to hire me. I had gone for an interview and they liked me, and so they made me an offer. Then I decided it was probably a good time to let them know about my illness. I told them that I had thalassemia and that I needed to have a blood transfusion every 3 weeks, and so that meant that I would miss a day of work every 3 weeks. And when I told them that, they were really hesitant about hiring me. I left that room feeling extremely upset because I had worked so hard to get that offer. So I called my husband and he said, they have no right legally to rescind the offer. And I waited for the other shoe to drop, but it never did. And then so I went into work on the day I was supposed to start work and nobody said anything. And I was there for about 4 months when they suddenly let me go without any clear reason. That was a really unsettling experience. But what I discovered next was that some companies see your illness as a burden to them. Another company I worked at, I decided to bring up the issue of my thalassemia on the first day of work. I had gone to see my boss's boss, and he said, well, no problem, use your vacation days. And I thought, wait a minute, my vacation days are for my vacation. Why should I use them for a life-saving treatment? So then I told him, no, that's not a good idea. And, it's fine if you just merely don't pay me for those days that I miss. And he said, well, you seem to be asking for preferential treatment. And I was just taken aback and I said, preferential treatment? I would die if I didn't receive these transfusions. Do you understand that? Then he kind of backed off a little bit and said that he would discuss this with his boss and they would come up with some kind of plan. That whole conversation just made me feel horrible. I mean, here I was just starting out at this company, trying to make a good first impression, and then I'm being treated as if I'm a burden to them. They actually referred to my transfusion days as days off. It seems to me there's not much difference between a chronic illness and a physical disability when it comes to employment law. Here's an article in the Canadian Business Journal that addresses this topic head-on. Employers are statutorily required to accommodate employees with disabilities. Where an employee's condition is chronic, it raises some challenging issues for both employees and employers. The duty to accommodate is substantial, requiring an employer to make a genuine effort to meet an employee's accommodation needs and requiring the employee to cooperate and help facilitate a solution. You can find the link to the article in the description below. But some companies do get it. My current company, for example. I had already gone for 2 or 3 interviews at the time, and I really had a feeling that they were going to make me an offer. And so I decided to tell my potential boss about my illness. I said, I have something to tell you. I have a medical condition which requires me to go for transfusions every 3 weeks. Would that be a problem? And he just kind of shrugged and said, of course not. That's absolutely fine. We'll accommodate you. And I got the job offer soon after that. In summary, I think it's better to tell your employer about your chronic illness instead of trying to hide it. The decision to fight an unfair situation at work is your own. Everyone's situation is different. I'm not a lawyer, but if you're in an uncomfortable situation at work, talk to someone about it. When do you tell an employer about your chronic illness? Tell me in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe. If you're not being treated fairly at work, or you feel that you can't come out of the closet, then it can become a tough situation. Know your rights and what fair treatment should be. Ah!